And it really, that effortlessness happens when I am present. And I've mentioned before, and I got some confirmations back from some of you, that I make myself busy when I'm trying to outrun a feeling. So I get into control and worry and complaining. I'm better about that one. Or just speeding myself up. But if I can slow down like I did that time, then the phone can ring and an angel can take over in the form of a guy named Sean, I think his name was. And I can relax and I can allow life to be easy, simple, and pleasurable. David Hawkins says in Power versus Force that power is effortless and life-giving. Michael Singer talks about aligning with the stream of life, right? I'm not like, nope, trying to like stop the current, because it doesn't work. It's just going to flow around me. And I remember I used to work in the movie industry many years ago in Los Angeles, and I parked in this parking lot over here, and then I would walk down the street to my office. And I realized how the external world was giving me feedback of my inner world. So when I was walking and feeling really expansive, anyone I passed would smile, say hi, just we'd have this like little moment together, because I'm bouncing and I'm feeling good and I'm radiant, right? And I also noticed when I was rushed, head down, stressed, that people would bump into me or ignore me or, like try to get around me. So again, that to me is an illustration of like me being being aware of the inherent power within, the real me, the real you. In Hindu, culture, they call it Shakti. In Catholicism and some other Christianity, I think, Holy Spirit. Here we call it Christ consciousness. But it's really just allowing for that flow of life, the divine flow, to come through me. Because it's always there. I just can obscure it. We can obscure it with the other stuff. And that brings us to force, which is an easy go-to when I'm feeling uncertain or afraid. It gives the semblance of certainty, because a lot of times when we're in power, we don't know how it's going to resolve or be. And force, we can have some semblance, some illusion of certainty. I know what I'm going to get if I worry. I'm going to think I'm doing something about the problem. And science has proven that the mind actually thinks that it's doing something about the problem when we're worrying. If I complain, I know I'm going to get a little adrenaline rush. If I try to control, then I don't have to worry about the feeling that I'm having here. Any of those are what I now call the mindfulness bell, like they say in Buddhism. Like, oh, I'm rushing. Take a step, take a minute. Okay, let me just breathe here. Let me stop. Where are my feet? What feeling am I trying to avoid? Charles Fillmore says, when we live in harmony with the principles of truth, what seems miraculous to the outer mind becomes a natural and normal part of our existence. So what I take from that is that they're not miracles, it's everyday stuff. That's how life is when I'm aligned. It's not like a special rare occasion. It's day to day. And the funny thing about the mind is it adapts to anything, and so when we see a lot of miracles and they become mundane, then we stop seeing them as miracles. So there's like a little infinite loop there of weirdness. But how about we have the miraculous just be the everyday, the quotidian? So, fear, force is an expression of fear. It either creates or comes from, chicken or egg, from the illusion of separation. When I'm afraid, the other person becomes the enemy, or the situation becomes the problem. I heard a long time ago, if other people or situations are the problem, then I'm doomed. Because there's nothing I can do about that other person, and there's nothing I can do about the situation. All I can do is what's here. So if I'm making somebody else the problem, that's me using force, right? I'm trying to get a different reality. I'm arguing with reality. But if I can come back to power, I can see it as the perfection. I can see it as in the books that we read, everything is neutral. What? Yeah, everything. Everything is neutral. Everything is for me. Again. The first time I read The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, or Tolle, however you like to say it, I've heard it both. This line has stuck out to me, and I actually am not even sure if it's in there, but it doesn't matter because it's really shaped my life, which is, you can relate to that, I think. The need to be right is an act of violence. I know, right? Because I like to be right. I really like to be right. But if I had that need to be right, then what is that force? That's coming from the illusion of separation. It's coming from, I'm right, you're wrong. There's no unity there. There's no oneness there. And as an act of violence, I can't get around that. I can't really fudge that. Violent. And really, if you trace all wars back to the root cause, isn't that it? The need to be right? All right, so how do we bring in more power? Or how do we remind ourselves of our power, our inherent divinity, our inherent nature? Surrender. I remember when I first realized that surrender was the answer to all my problems, and I'll be frank with you here, I was resentful that nobody had told me that earlier. I was like, why didn't anyone tell me? Well, I might have actually heard it 100 times before then, but I wasn't ready to hear until I was ready to hear. Anybody relate to that? Right. So, surrender. And again, that doesn't mean that I just curl up in a ball or that I flop on the floor, which I can, and I do sometimes if I'm feeling like I need to do that. My nervous system might need that. But it's doing right action that's, as far as I can tell, has been guided in the quiet, and then surrendering results, because I don't know. I don't know what's best. I think I do. And the part of me that really likes being right thinks it does. Surrender isn't giving up, it's just releasing resistance. I'm not arguing with reality anymore. I was reading an article this morning, actually, about bridging groups. And these are groups that are sprouting up and have been, I saw the first instance in 2016, but they're getting a lot of traction right now. And bridging groups, their intention is to cross the divide, particularly political. So last time we talked about violent protest. There's many, many other movements that are doing their best to unify. And guess what their first and number one tool is? Listening to understand. How much surrender do you have to do to listen to somebody who's talking nonsense and try to understand them? Because I talk nonsense all the time to somebody who's not on the same frequency, right? So they're hearing nonsense from me, I'm hearing nonsense from them. But it's not nonsense, it's their lived experience. This is my lived experience. So how do I listen to understand? One of the groups, it's called Listen First. So their mantra, their whole ethos is to listen first. You know, and the Quakers have had this down for a long time. Long, long time. Quaker prayer, quiet, silent. Quaker circles, quiet, opening the space. Surrender is embedded in that. There's a big difference between surrender and resignation. They might look the same, but the energy of them on the inside are very different. Resignation, I say, is like the energy of Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh and Christopher Robin. Oh, I'll just go over here and eat grass. Like, there's no use doing anything. Which, you know, I can be Eeyore for sure. And sometimes it's necessary to kind of get through the hurt or whatever it is. But really, that's just resigning and giving up. Whereas surrender is, I care. And I'm going to bring love to it, and I'm going to have enough humility to think that maybe I don't know in this instance what's best and right. Maybe. And for me, the language of surrender has been, since I've known, has been, okay. It's not what I expected, but okay. Oh, I'm getting some instruction that I don't like. Okay, maybe they know something I don't. Okay. I've also heard it as, this could be interesting if you let it, from Claire. So Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, she had been told, she'd been given 6 months to live, right? And then she went to a lecture, and she really heard inside of her, I am a child of God, therefore I do not inherit disease. Because all these maladies that had been put on her were inherited, right? And she allowed the power of her and the power of and vibration of those words and that sentiment to heal her. And this wasn't spiritual bypassing. It wasn't like, I'm a child of God. I'm a child of God, right? It was like, no, I am a child of God. Therefore, I do not inherit disease. She surrendered into the power, knowing that, okay, there is this way of thinking that I was going to die and that I got this from my family. I'm surrendering that for a new experience. And she lived 40 some more years after that, into her 80s. So that's a big surrender. So we've all got this inherent divine power within us. And why do we talk about it all the time? Well, I don't know about you, but I need the reminder on a day-to-day, minute-to-minute basis sometimes. Because complaining can feel compelling, and worry can feel like I'm doing something about what's troubling me. Or the other person can seem like the enemy because I feel afraid. But when I tap into and remind myself, and you remind me back of that divine power, I can relax, I can take it easy, I can allow what's meant to happen, and really reside in all is well, and all is well. So let's just take a moment and affirm that I am available. I am here and available, and I affirm my divine power, inherent in every cell. And I release the need to force or fix or even believe in the illusion of separation. Because I am, and you are, and all is well. And so it is.
And now it is that time in our service where we have the opportunity to give of our hearts. So if you would join me in the words of our blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. Our ushers come forward.
We're making it easier to give online. Yay! Isn't that great? So if you want to pull out your phone and go to PayPal, if that's easier for you, it's at Unity Gold. So easy. We also have a QR code that we'll be sharing next week.
Wow.
Yay! 21st century.
One power, one power, one power. There's one power, invisible, and you see it everywhere and every day. One power, indescribable, and you speak of it with every word you say. Mysterious until you know the truth. As simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Bahula, angel's wings or heaven's door, but whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? It's the power of love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. We speak so many languages, have different clothing, different colors, different names. But different is only dangerous when we forget that in the heart we're all the same. But once we close our eyes to see, Such distances were never meant to be. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, Hashem, or Heaven's Door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul, or it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth, or Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of love in you and me. One power, one power, one power, one power, one power, one power. It's the moment of creation. It's an everlasting peace. It's the freedom of forgiveness. It's the sweetness of release. It's the joy of inspiration. It's the sunshine on your face. It's the birthright of all nations. It's the boundlessness of space. It's the beauty of a baby. It's the serenity of sleep. It's the anger we abandon, for it's love that's most deep. It's one power, one power, one power. What we are is one power, one power, one power. It's the power of love that lives forever in you and me. It's the power of love in you and me.
We have blessed these gifts in our hearts, and now we bless them for unity in the Gold Country and the work of unity worldwide. Thank you, God.
We have some birthdays to celebrate for this month. Do we have a list? We don't have a list. If it's your birthday this month, we love and appreciate you. And you're in the e-bulletin. What? Oh, I invite them up. Would you please come up? Please come on up. Thanks. Wow. Yeah, yay.
Dear Unity in the Gold Country, brothers and sisters in love and peace, if you get little birthday cards in the mail, just know that they're coming from a little, little me. And if you are new to Unity in the Gold Country, or if you're thinking of joining this beautiful spiritual community, will you please, Edward up there, please make sure that your birthday lands on the birthday list so that I know when your birthday is and I can get lots of birthday love out to you. Thank you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You are wonderful. God is blessing you now.
Happy birthday. Yay.
I'm so glad you were all born. So as you know, we are making it easier to give your love offerings online. The QR code is in the e-bulletin, and we'll be having it for you. And we have a very special event today. Our role in evolution with Neil Donald Walsh is today, and that'll be at noon. Here and now. We are going to have a fireside chat, living room style discussion with me next week, right? Yeah, next week, after the service. So you can bring your questions and your ideas, and we can just get to know each other better. Yay! More coziness. And of course, our beloved Rev Jerry, we're going to celebrate him on the 16th of February. So please come to service and then stay afterwards so we can just love him up in this big threshold of change for him. And just, it says, oh, red hot notice. This just in. One of Rev Jerry's favorite pastimes, and now his present full-time, is cooking. He's cooking all the time. So please submit your favorite recipe or recipes to be included in a compilation for him. So he doesn't want stuff. When I asked him, how do you want to be celebrated? He was like, no more stuff. But he's into... To Leslie, you can just hit return on the e-bulletin. You can send an email to us. Yep, thank you. You can bring it in, handwritten. No, don't do that, because we can't read everybody's writing. Energy healing clinics have started again, and Feb 9th is our first one of the year, and offered at 2, 3, and 4. Christy, are there still spots available? So can you raise your hand? So if you would like to get in on this amazing opportunity, please go see Christy, and she'll get you an appointment. Spiritual exploration. Rev Maggie is leading these really potent and beautiful prayer blessing circles. They're on Tuesdays, 10:30 to 12. We usually wrap before then, but man, we generate a lot of power. And you get special attention, which if you're like me, like attention. So you get some attention, but it's not too overwhelming because it's just one-on-one. And then we bless everybody. You may know another secret to happiness, not just surrender, that I have found is service and giving back where I'm spiritually fed. There's nothing like it. And there's nothing like it to get me out of my head. If I'm in the force place, I can get back into my power by being a volunteer or serving where I'm spiritually fed. We have lots of great opportunities that are custom made just for you, or will be. So we can't do what we do without support. And we're so grateful that we have so much support, but we also want to open the door to more people supporting so that you can get the benefit of Seva, or selfless service, as well. So there's some opportunities right now in hospitality, and they make these beautiful spreads for us after service. Also ushering. And these positions are set to require just one time a month. Mary Hughes, would you raise your hand? Please see Mary. If you have the inkling, the spark to do that, or something else, because we want to hear about maybe a zone of genius that you have, like Edward let us know, and now we have beautiful slides and great love stream. So we're open to expanding our positions. So thank you, everyone, for being here today, and I want to thank Claire for for being an awesome co-pilot today. Gabriel, Angela, Scott, thank you for blessing us with the music. Wasn't it nice to walk in and have them playing? That was next level, for sure. Thank you. Our greeters, Susan Tallarico and Sue Downing, but we also had a bonus. I think it was Barbara? Lori, sorry about that, okay? A bonus greeter. Ushers were Linda Bacchetti and Linda Lou Hines. Did I get it? Okay. I'll get it. I'll do better. I'll do better. I'm getting there. Thanks for your patience. Chaplain Christy Stevens. Hospitality with Patricia Plank. Mary Jo, thank you. Sound was Ed Dennis. I saw you also were helping with hospitality, right? Can you remind me your name? Marge too. Thank you, Marge. Sound was Ed Dennis. The love stream was Leslie. Yes, but I just wanted to give a moment to love you up for all that you do. Oh my gosh. And Edward. Yay. Gift and bookstore, Patricia Leviton. Altar is Lita. Children, Teresia. Thank you, everyone, for making things happen here in a beautiful and smooth and fun way. All right, let's close. Stand as you are able. Thank you. Takes a village to get a service, right? All right, and together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am, and all is well. Yay!
Love be with you, peace enfold you, Spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make good flow to you, let joy renew you till we meet again. Love be with you, love be with you, love be with you, love be with you. All together, hand in hand, we see the light, we take a stand. We are changing, whole new life for you and me. Take a past and set it free and share this blessing. Love be with you, peace enfold you, Spirit lift you, breathe it in. Truth come through you, make good flow to you, let joy renew you till we meet again. Love me with you, be with you. I kept going. That works.
Go forward and love each other.
All right. That's good. That's good. Now we know. It was, yep.